if you want to learn about ET families or learn from your ET family, you'd want to have an ET family in mind. So you'd have to define that. What does that mean to you? And if you don't know, well, I will help you find out what your ET family is all about. But the thing is, you can be um, part of this ET family for 1,000,000 years, and now you feel at home with the Lyrans or the Lyran humans or the Lyran, you know, cats or whatever. So you feel like that's your family. Now you're born in a Earth human body. But before you were, let's say, Irma, cats. Before that, you were something else. Before that, you were something else. So it's really uh, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And most people, I think, they're interested in where they just came from. If they're an ET, who were their most recent ET family? That's assuming they came from an ET family and not some other universe where there's not extraterrestrials. There's no terrestrial, so there's no extraterrestrial. Kind of, it gets deep that way. But to keep it simple, learning from your ET family, uh, it's easy enough. I think the ET families have loaded enough on the internet right now that you can find what you want to learn just by getting on the internet. But the trick is to filter the information. Is it legit? Is it good? It's good stuff. Like Alex Collier, he's Arcturian, I guess. And so he was in contact like 10, 20 years ago with those guys and sharing a lot of great information. But whether you find it on the internet or you tap into it and do a download or you channel it, again, it's going to be the question of discernment and is the information legit? Is it supportive of your purpose or mission, stuff like that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, like you say, like it's important to know who you connect with. I kind of keep on telling this metaphor to everyone now, but like think of like trying a new car. If you have plenty of brands and different cars to try out, like you will like some, you will dislike the others. But it's like with some you identify like, yeah, this is really comfy. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I like the way the engine sounds. So like there's like a lot of things you try, but one car is just gonna stick out and you're gonna say like this one is my favorite. With all the cars that are out there, they're all great, but this one specifically mine. And it's like with the soul families, you will have tons of different experiences with some, uh, different bodies, different like lives, different scenarios, but few of them will stick out for you to say like this is my thing. Every time I'm gonna have different experiences, I will keep on coming back here because this is who I identify as, and like I like these people. So with many, to have one soul family, it's not a thing. You have plenty, but you will just feel more affection and sympathy for some that you identify as. That being said, again, like it's reading, it's doing the research, it's like having out of body experiences and lucid dreams so that you would connect to those beings. Practicing like meditation and like having a specific, let's say, essence in mind, because like it's not about frequency. Frequency is a thing, but like a lot of people focus too much on frequency that they make it the only thing, and like how do I make it higher and higher and higher without focusing on the important information. Like I would say, like get info right. Who exactly? Like you don't even need to know the names. Like yeah, you've heard about Pleiadians and Ladders and other races, but if you're like they're cool, but I would like to have someone else, someone outside of the circle, someone outside of the duality and stuff. Well, you might not know their name right now, but what would they be like? Write a little story. Some possible looks, some possible like characteristics. What's their like what they're into, what kind of things they do, and like you write about them, and this is like the race that you identify as. You might not know the name, but you know the essence. You know what it feels like. So now, kind of imagine having a conversation with a being from that race, and then like literally, you're not making shit up. You are remembering everything. You're connecting to something you have already experienced, and then you can just talk to those beings and learn from them. So then you can learn about who your soul family is, or some groups that you connect with better. and just go from there. That's
Yeah.
how you learn.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Also, it's like you can ask yourself, what's to learn from the soul family? But the thing is, you were just there before you got here. And so they're not really teaching you anything new. This is my theory. It's more like you came here on a fucking dare or a challenge or on a mission. And it's not really so much what I can learn from my soul family, except the basics of get my shit together and understand reality. But it's not so much about learning about history, because history, there's too much bullshit regarding histories. Whatever leaders in power, they're changing the history. Then there's the timeline wars, where they literally change the timeline on you, and what was the history before is not the history now. So you really, although I loved history, galactic history, and what's going on in the world, this world for thousands of years, and why all the wars and the Anunnaki and all that stuff, I realized after I had enough that it doesn't matter. I think it matters for people who haven't had enough yet, but once you've had
Yeah.
enough of that, it's like that doesn't fucking matter. And what I can learn from the ETs about the history doesn't fucking matter. It's about now. And it's more like what I can teach the ETs. Or it's like when they connect with me, I connect with them. They're learning something from me or any person that they're connecting with. We're the ones down here living this fucking dream. And it's like they're up there, it's relatively safe, so to speak, because this is a mind fuck. This is a real powerful place to experience. And good luck getting, once you get in, you know, get out as fast as you can. And they don't see them coming down here. The ones that are still up there in their ships and whatever. But there are lots of ETs that have come down, we call them starseeds. They're born into bodies, or they're actually living in their uh, extraterrestrial body, but it looks human enough, and they blend in, they fit in. So there are thousands of ETs already here. So the question about learning from the ETs, that's kind of about what this video is about, inspired by Alex Collier's recent video. But in fact, no, it's not about learning from the fucking ETs. It's about learning from your experience while you're here and understanding your relationship with the ETs. Maybe you can teach them something. Like don't come down here unless you really fucking have to. Just don't do it. It's not good. It's like walking into an insane asylum. Don't do it unless you got a reason, a good reason. And hopefully the reason isn't because you're fucking nuts. Okay. So yeah.
It's a good take.
So I guess that's how we can make it a short video, unless you had some other
Yeah,
commentary.
sure, it's good.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's my thoughts on learning from ETs. They're wonderful, and I think they're here to help us and guide us to reach out for help. Help me, that's fine. But uh, you know, I think the most important things to learn are going to be what you can learn about yourself, about your mind, about consciousness, and how to navigate this world and this realm from a thought and a feeling and a consciousness perspective. Ta-da.
Yeah, just like last little thing, the example you gave, I just think of a little kid, a toddler, stepped on something and got scared and is looking for a reaction, and parents are scared, so the kid starts crying. But if you laugh, the kid's like, oh, it's fine. Like, doesn't matter. So for us, too many people get kind of scared of the unknown and think that the experience here is really bad. Of course, individuals like different stories and all. But if you can get out, you're gonna like have this quiet mind. All of those spots and incidents and everything else, like that will matter. So you're not in the place of, oh, save me, oh, I need to learn something and stuff. You're like, ah, it's fine. And yeah, this complete awareness and calmness, and it's all about you anyways. So this experience of like, what do we learn about soul families? In the state when you're scared and not doing good, yeah, you want to get extracted, you want to get help, you want to learn something, you want them to save you. But when you're not that, it's like, yeah, it's all about you. You know it
Yeah.
all. What do you want to experience? What kind of fun do you want to have?
Yeah. Well said. And lastly, a good thing about soul families is it's a place to go back to. You can go back home if you know your soul family. And so you can learn that there's a place you can go from here and it's home and you're loved and you got someone to love while you're there. So anyway, that's all. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.